As the trial into the disappearance of 6-year-old Joshlin Smith entered its 18th day, the court heard further testimony from Captain Wesley Lombard, who continued outlining the police's investigation into the days and hours surrounding Joshlin's disappearance. Before we dive in, I just wanted to send a personal thank you to new members of our channel. Thank you for subscribing. For us, a self-funded media publication, this means a lot. Also, we do weekly deep dives into the trial and examine not only the witness testimonies, but the overall shaping of the case, and those drop every Sunday. So trust me when I say it's in your best interest to turn on post notifications. Now let's turn our attention to trial day 18 and break down what happened, because today's testimony was so intense, it literally turned Kelly Smith's stomach. Taking the stand for the second day, Captain Lombard revisited interviews that were conducted with Kelly Smith, Jacquen Appollis, Racquen, Kelly Smith's eldest child, revealing inconsistencies in their stories, emotional outbursts, and moments that appeared to shift the course of the investigation. Proceedings kicked off with Lombard clarifying that during the February interviews, neither Kelly Smith nor Jacquen Appollis had been formally arrested, though both were treated as suspects. The captain retraced their statements to police taken on the 20th of February, a day after Joshlin was reported missing, highlighting conflicting timelines and behavior that raised suspicions. Kelly claimed she returned home at 1:50 that day to find two of her children at home, while Jacquen was reportedly not there. She said she began searching for Joshlin shortly afterward. However, Jacquen's account was different. He said he saw Joshlin walking away from their home at 2 p.m. after feeding her, and that she had become upset when he told her to get out of the sun. According to him, that was the last time he saw her. Racquen's version added more confusion. He recalled that Kelly had returned home to eat lunch before going back to work, and said Jacquen gave him and Joshlin food after she left. That afternoon, Racquen went to visit Brother Lowe, only returning home around 6 p.m. He said Kelly asked him then whether he knew where Joshlin was. Captain Lombard pointed out the contradictions. If Kelly returned at 1:50 as she claimed and found two children at home, the assumption is they were Joshlin and Racquen, since that morning she'd left for work with Rochelle, her youngest child, to take her to creche. Yet Kelly said she started looking for Joshlin after that. He described this as a critical inconsistency and one that undermined the credibility of the timeline presented by the accused. Captain Lombard described Kelly's demeanor during interviews as dismissive and irritable. When asked where Joshlin was, she reportedly said, open quote, "Joshlin is not here anymore," close quote, and insisted she had to move on with her life. According to Lombard, Kelly also made the comment, open quote, "Joshlin made me famous," close quote, followed by what he described as a bizarre grin. Later in his testimony, the captain recounted confronting Kelly after Jacquen and Stevino van Rijn told police they should, quote-unquote, ask Kelly about Joshlin. Upon hearing that the two men had implicated her, Kelly became hysterical. Lombard told the court that she began screaming profanities, shouting, open quote, "How can Buta do this to me? I trusted him. I loved him," close quote. Lombard admitted telling Kelly, open quote, "You're worried about Buddha, but not Joshlin," close quote, a comment he said triggered her breakdown. She reportedly shouted, open quote, "What must I do? The child is gone," close quote, before turning on her own family and blaming them for her situation. This emotional eruption spilled into court proceedings. After hearing parts of this testimony, Kelly reportedly became ill and was rushed out of the courtroom. Proceedings were paused to allow her to receive medical attention. Captain Lombard told the court that on the 4th of March 2024, after a day of questioning at the Family Violence, Child Protection and Sexual Offences Office in Saldanha Bay, both Jacquen and Stevino separately indicated they wanted to tell the truth. Initially, they'd both urged police to quote-unquote ask Kelly about Joshlin's whereabouts, but then they shifted focus, each independently identifying a woman they claimed would know where the missing girl was. The woman was brought in for questioning, and although her connection to the case remains unclear, Lombard said Kelly appeared to recognize her children when the family arrived at the station. No direct link between the woman and Joshlin's disappearance has yet been established. After the woman's interview, Lombard told Kelly that the two men had named her. He testified that this confrontation caused Kelly to break down, leading to a heated exchange in which she reportedly used racial and gender-based slurs before shouting at Jacquen when they crossed paths, open quote. "Why did you do me like that?" close quote, Kelly screamed at Jacquen. According to Lombard, Jacquen responded, open quote, "It's you, tell the police," close quote. Following these developments, police formally charged and detained all three suspects, Kelly, Jacquen, and Stevino, on kidnapping charges. Jacquen and Stevino were sent to Saldanha Bay Police Station to be formally charged and interrogated, while Kelly was held at the FCS offices. This took place in the early hours of Tuesday, the 5th of March 2024. With the court poised to examine whether key parts of the police's investigative procedures were lawful, a trial within a trial is set to form part of the next phase. Let's break this down. One central issue the defense is expected to latch onto when proceedings resume on day 19 will be whether the suspects were informed of their rights at the appropriate time during their interviews. Captain Lombard admitted that they were not advised of their rights at the outset, but at the time they were treated as witnesses, or for lack of a better term, persons of interest, and in any case, due process was followed when all three initially gave witness statements to police on the 20th of February. This could form part of a crucial moment in the judge's ruling on the admissibility of the statements Jacquen and Stevino eventually made while detained later that day on the 5th of March. That essentially is the main purpose of the trial within a trial. The state wants to include what Stevino and Jacquen revealed that day into evidence. The defense does not want this because it forms part of the state's assertion that Kelly masterminded the sale of her daughter. Kelly Smith will not be involved in the upcoming phase, as the focus will shift to the interactions between investigators and co-accused Jacquen Appollis and Stevino van Rijn. Another interesting figure that popped up in today's testimony is a man named Owen, who gave investigators crucial information that strengthened the link between Joshlin's disappearance and Sangoma's. But that we will thoroughly ventilate in this week's deep dive, which I encourage you to be on the lookout for. The cross-examination of Captain Lombard will likely feature the majority of proceedings on day 19, with the court expected to kick off the trial within a trial on Tuesday, the 1st of April 2025. This brings us to the end of our video. In the comments, tell us what you thought about today's testimony. What did Stevino and Jacquen reveal in their statements? What about Kelly's dramatic exit, literally falling ill at the sound of Captain Lombard's shocking testimony? Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives and breakdowns of not only the Joshlin Smith trial, but important stories that matter the most to you.